If the Secretary of War can do regular, hard PT, so can every member of our joint force. Frankly, it's tiring to look out at combat formations, or really any formation, and see fat troops. Likewise, it's completely unacceptable to see fat generals and admirals in the halls of the Pentagon and leading commands around the country and the world. It's a bad look. It is bad, and it's not who we are. No more beards, long hair, superficial individual expression. We're going to cut our hair, shave our beards, and adhere to standards. This is on duty in the field and in the rear. If you want a beard, you can join Special Forces. If not, then shave. We don't have a military full of Nordic pagans. That's why today, at my direction, the era of unprofessional appearance is over. No more beardos. The era of rampant and ridiculous shaving profiles is done. Simply put, if you do not meet the male-level physical standards for combat positions, cannot pass a PT test, or don't want to shave and look professional, it's time for a new position or a new profession.
America's toxic masculinity crisis was on full display today. Now, of course, Hegseth is clean-shaven and has a bunch of white nationalist tattoos, so he knows whereof he speaks. But here's the thing. We have gotten to a point where being a man, being a real man, has been completely redefined by people like Hegseth and Donald. So there was a time when being a mature adult man meant being able to admit when you were wrong, being able to apologize, being able to course correct when the initial strategy that you settled on proved not to be working. Well, no longer. Being a real man in America now means never admitting when you're wrong and continuing to be wrong. In fact, doubling and tripling and quadrupling down on your wrongness. Being a real man in America means never course correcting. Why? Well, because course correcting means having to admit you were wrong. So we keep going down the most misguided, dangerous paths, all to protect the fragile egos of the person who set us down that path in the first place. What else does it mean to be a real man in Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth's America? Well, it means not caring about the feelings of other human beings, not believing that empathy is something we should value, believing things like kindness is weakness, believing, in fact, that the only feelings that matter are theirs. Remember in the 2016 election, a bunch of Donald's supporters and followers wore t-shirts that said, "Fuck your feelings"? Well, guess what? It turns out that while they do not care about our feelings, they have a lot of their own. And Donald in particular doesn't like it when his feelings get hurt. He doesn't like it when people don't go out of their way, indeed bend over backwards to make sure that his feelings are assuaged and protected and valued. So being a real man in America is caring not at all about other people while demanding that they care about you. Being so obsessed with looking tough and acting tough and sounding tough that you completely fail to realize how weak and pathetic you are and seem. And that to me was one of the most glaring things about Hegseth's remarks today, which we will get to. He actually believed that the people in that audience admired him and thought that he was the ideal of a strong man, when the opposite is the case. But of course, when you belong to a party that thinks that Donald Trump is the ideal of masculinity, well, you've completely lost your way. And unfortunately for us, they're bringing us down with them. Please take a second and like and share this video. Be awesome if you could subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to us in podcast form, please follow us and give the show a 5-star rating because it really does help other people find our content. Thanks.